every hole. Keep marking every hole. Keep marking every hole. Keep marking every hole.
Oh, that's it. That's
There it is.
Tell me your name, where you're from.
Nate Sexton, Eugene, Oregon.
Nice shot, Nate.
Hello, and welcome to Disc Golf Live Video Magazine. This time around, we've got sweet tournament coverage from Smuggler's Notch in Vermont, and a masterfully crafted documentary all about our sport called Disc Golf Matters. We'll get things started right after this.
Production and distribution of Disc Golf Live is made possible through the generous support of our underwriters. Thanks for your support.
Just a few years old, the Green Mountain Championship has quickly established itself among the top disc golf tournaments in the East.
Welcome to Final 9 coverage of the 2014 Green Mountain Championship at Smuggler's Notch. I'm excited to welcome our Assistant Course Superintendent, Pat Abbott, to the booth to help me commentate today. How you doing, Pat?
Hey, Jeffrey, doing awesome. Really excited to relive the magic of the Green Mountain Championship.
First place at 21 under, Ricky Wysocki. First on the tee from Fort Mill, South Carolina.
All right, well, I'm happy to have you here, Pat. Excited to watch this final round action as we see Ricky Wysocki, our current four-stroke leader, get into a little trouble off the tee there.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah, not the way you want to start, and it's opened the door for Jason Dorr to have a great shot here. Let's see what he can do. The Mainer, just like yourself.
Yeah, big fan of Jason.
Oh, and he puts it right up next to the basket. It looks like about a drop-in unless Ricky can make some magic. Jason's going to whittle that lead down right away. And here's Simon. He throws it into an OB swath there. That's kind of the crux of this hole. Difficult to get over, Pat.
Yeah, definitely. I've had some troubles there myself.
Let's see how Will handles this. Will had a disappointing end to his third round. He's 7 out right now, but he threw a beautiful shot right there. And it looks like he's just about basket high as we welcome another local Northeastern kid from Worcester, Mass., Kyle Moriarty. He was playing excellent golf all weekend. Were you able to observe Kyle at all, Pat?
Yeah, I did. I was able to get out there, saw him playing a little bit, and I know he's psyched to be on this Final 9 card.
Yeah, he had to battle with one of the best players in the world, Steve Brinster, to get on the card, as we saw his tee shot come up about 40 feet short. And then this is Simon from the drop zone. Remember, he went OB, and now he's about 20 feet for his bogey. Wow, Rick just buzzed the basket. He wanted that too. He didn't want to give up a stroke right off the bat here to Jason. Kyle comes up short on his birdie, and Simon cleans up for par. No problem for Will as he taps in for 2. And we're going to watch Jason tap in and come within 3 of Ricky Wysocki, our defending champ. What was Jason's demeanor like out there, Pat?
Kept a cool head. He seemed like a really confident player.
Yeah, and he was always ready with a smile if something went wrong. He definitely kept his cool, and those are the kind of attributes you need to compete at this level, and I definitely saw that from Jason throughout the week. Maybe it's a main thing.
Yeah, I think it has to be.
Pat's a whitewater guide, and he's also calm and in difficult situations. Here we are on hole 20, and this hole can get pretty difficult as well. This is one of our signatures, almost 700 feet downhill. You can see the left side and right side are OB. So while they have a large landing zone, if they go too far left or right, they're in big trouble. And we see Jason Dorr split the fairway with distance. That tree down there is just over 500 feet. So that's control right there as Will goes way out left. Pretty crazy line.
Yeah, aggressive. Does he come back in? Oh yeah, right below the tree.
Yeah, similar position to Jason's, a little bit more risky to get there. I think he was trying to go even bigger. As we see Ricky with a conservative power shot that is also screaming down there, and he is well over 500 feet with that. Kyle Moriarty, can he keep up with the big arms? Looks like he can, but it's drifting left. Will it stick? Oh, and you see it flash up. The crowd appreciates it because it's in bounds.
Yeah, it's great to get that quick feedback from the crowd.
Yeah, because he probably would not have known unless the gallery was there. We see Simon going huge. Wow, you don't see anyone throwing that line. Oh, and it hits the tent pole, probably about 700 feet out there, but unfortunately he's going to have to take a drop and play from the site of its last departure. Kyle spiking one right over the top. Kyle's got a green light to be aggressive here, trying to make up some ground. Let's watch Jason's float in there right under the basket, leaving no room for error for Rick when he steps up. Will coming off a first hole birdie. Let's see if he can keep it going.
Nice and gentle. Looking real good heading down there.
Yeah, and here's a replay. And from this angle, when we get to the basket, you can see, I believe you can see that it drops off significantly after the basket. Well, it wasn't a great look, but even just approaching here, if you go long, you can get a roll away. It's a delicate pitch shot up there. There's Simon pitching it and hitting the pole as we hear the metallic sound resonate. Kyle for his birdie. That's what, a 50-footer, Pat?
Yeah, that was from distance. The audience loved that, too.
They did, and actually Kyle might be stealing our crowd favorite title from Jason Dorr at this point. Jason has just come up with great performances over the last 2 years, and I think the crowd's excited to see someone else succeed as we watch Will tapping his birdie. We got Rick tapping in his birdie, and still a 3-stroke lead. Jason Dorr's right in the thick of this, and Will's trying to come along as well. Simon and Kyle are back there. Let's see if Kyle can get into the mix. Here's hole 21. Pat, challenging hole.
Yeah, definitely can be intimidating right off the tee. You got a lot of OB in front of you. Just want to get it straight across that.
Yeah, on the left side, there's OB that stops if you have enough power. Oh, no, I don't think Jason had enough on that one. I
think that one went OB.
That one might, yeah, indeed be out of bounds. So he's going to have to look for Rick to maybe have a slip up as well as we watch Will. Watch the skip. Oh, and it sits down in position A. That's a beautiful shot. Just a little 400-foot pitch from Will there. And here's Ricky, and that's too high. That's going left.
Oh, a little help from that tree.
That's a lot of help, actually. That was gonna keep him right next to Jason out of bounds, but now it looks like he may have a stroke advantage midway through this third hole of the final 9. Oh, and Kyle, yeah, beautiful shot from him. What's Simon doing here?
Oh, he's getting crazy with the roller. Looked like a tree helped him a little bit too. Yeah, it's a question mark in his head now. Did it stay in or go out? The OB does end eventually down that left side. We see a flag. It seems to be past it. I think he's in the clear.
That is the final flag, and he is in bounds. Just long enough to stay in bounds as we watch Rick with a silky smooth pitch up. He's going to have about a circle putt 30-ish feet for his birdie. This is Jason from his drop, throwing his third. And it's a good recovery. He'll have a putt for par from there and hope that Rick misses his to stay close.
Yeah, the basket's a little protected by the woods here.
Yeah, this was a new basket position. Patrick, you helped carve it out. It really added a little bit of challenge to this hole.
Yeah, the basket before was protected by a large hornet's nest. So we removed that and moved it over and kept that.
Not without casualty, though. My hand was pretty swollen for a long time after that. But we're watching these guys pitch up, and And Kyle did go out of bounds as well, so he's looking for his par right now. Oh, and he just misses it. He'll have to look to clean that one up. And this is Rick for birdie, and he can really assert a firm domination over the card if he can make this. Just pitches it right. Here's Jay. And he needed that. He needed that quite a bit. He's going to give one up to Rick as we watch Simon. And Simon's able to convert his birdie. It's a great birdie on this hole.
Yeah, definitely. Feeling good about that, especially.
All right, and Will Schustrick, he is also looking for his birdie. He had just a perfect drive, and now he's within the circle. This shouldn't be a problem for Will. And it's not. Yeah, he knocks it in for birdie.
Oh, Kyle finds even more trouble on this hole.
Unbelievable. That looked like a very unfortunate spit out. As we have a throwback to the days where cows grazed the Fox Run meadows. You remember this, Pat?
Yeah, some archival footage here. It's, we like to make the best use of our lands here in Vermont.
Yeah, we were able to put this course together and about a year before this tournament happened, and it really just came together beautifully as we see the tight, narrow lane of hole 22. As we see Will throw, we think about how impressive that aerial camera work was flying down this tight lane. Big shout out to our videographer here, Alex Martin, producing these videos. As we see Simon with a beautiful shot, lacing it up the gut. Can Rick follow suit? Yes, he can, and that's ridiculously beautiful as it turns slightly left to right.
Yeah, just incredible. Best shot I think I've ever seen on this hole.
Yeah, it's a tight lane. If you're standing up there, you're just thinking about getting through that gap right there that Jay busts through. But he's trending to the right, and he gets knocked down. If he's in bounds, he'll have a look at it, and he'll need to make that putt because Ricky's sitting right under it. As we see Kyle with another beautiful shot. All these competitors got it out there. Rare that you see it all on one card, but that's why they're playing in the final 9. There's Kyle doing a great job representing Massachusetts. I know he's touring a little bit more this year. We're going to hear some noise from Kyle as he plays more and more tournaments and gets his game to the next level. Oh.
Jason finds a tree there, and he's not happy about that.
No, he knows he's given up another stroke at this point, and the lead is probably up to at least 4 unless he can make this. Let's see if he can clean it up. Yeah, in and out, and that's going to balloon the lead up to 5 with about 5 to play. So it's going to be tough for him to catch Rick, and at this point, Rick's probably feeling pretty good as we watch Kyle unable to convert. But that man right there is 4 under through 4. The course record on the Fox Run 9 is actually 7 under, set by Ricky Wysocki. Let's see if Will can challenge that. He's 4 down. Maybe he can go perfect on this back 9 and give Rick a little bit of a run. It really will depend on whether or not we keep seeing this amazing play from our defending champ right there, Ricky Wysocki.
Yeah, you really wonder how long he can keep it up.
Yeah, and as we take a minute to look at the scores, you notice that we're reaching into Vermont peak foliage. You see the colors, and this is a really signature scene of Vermont at this time of year.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's my favorite time to play.
The tournament's again scheduled for September 18th to 20th, this coming 2015, and we should have, again, beautiful weather, peak foliage, and some great disc golf competition as we see Will skipping one up there. He hit a guardian tree. As we see Simon unleash the beast yet again. Where's this going, Pat?
Oh, it's coming down somewhere. He really showed us a few unorthodox techniques during the tournament.
Yeah, it was a crowd-pleasing viewing of Simon's skill set here as we watch Ricky also get pretty unique. He was out there practicing this roller. I saw him practicing about a dozen times. It is a low tunnel, so it's a good choice to go low like that, and I think Ricky's again in birdie position. And of course, Jason doesn't let a little bit of turmoil get him down. He throws a beautiful tee shot up there as we see Kyle with a nice recovery as well. I'm looking forward to seeing where Simon is at this point. There's a hill on the backside, yep, and he went down a little. Let's see if he can pop it out of there. He can, but he just pitches it right up next to the basket. And Rick also looks like rolled past. But, of course, no problem for him. It's a birdie from the rough. Jason just can't get back on track. But Will Schustrick is unstoppable right now. That's 5 straight birdies to start the final 9. We'll have to check the leaderboard after this. He's got to be creeping on Jason at this point as we watch Kyle with a nice par save.
Impressive putts there.
Yeah, Kyle was doing this all week. On a course like this, you're going to have your issues. But as we mentioned with Jason, if you can bounce back, you're going to be in the hunt.
Yeah, and I saw many of the pros practicing a few days prior to the tournament beginning, and I think that really pays off.
All right, and as we see the scores unfurl here, we can notice that Will is in second place, but the backdrop here is our Village 9 beginner course. All the holes are about 130 to 200 feet. It gives families a great chance to take their kids out and get a taste of disc golf for the first time, located in the Central Village.
The Professional Disc Golf Association is the governing body for the sport of disc golf. From local tournaments to the amateur and professional world championships, the PDGA oversees sanctioned events for disc golfers of all skill levels. The PDGA is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to promoting disc golf around the world. To learn more about the PDGA, visit www.pdga.com. Get out and play a round of disc golf. The sport of the future is here today.
Filmmaker Matthew Robertson is based in Los Angeles, and much of his Disc Golf Matters documentary was shot in that area. This is great stuff. Our thanks to Matthew for sharing.
Frisbee-based competitions.
Are you kidding? I started the Maine Frisbee Golf Club at Cornell. I live to froth.
Are you in my Frisbee golf league?
Oh, yeah. I play for the Super Spinners.
You mean golf?
Froth! Frisbee golf, Jerry! Golf with a Frisbee!
And there's Frisbee golf, and you go snow sledding on cafeteria trays.
Play a little Frisbee golf with Condi Rice and Dick Cheney.
You guys really think there's a police matter to get your Frisbee back?
Froth is not a sport.
Hey, we have a newsletter.
Shut up, Clays.
Like Frisbee golf, I'm glad I tried it once.
All right, we're all familiar with the game of golf, right? But have you ever heard of disc golf? I am Chris Brophy.
I'm John Heaton.
My name is Marcus Cisneros.
My name is John Weesey.
I think it helps people stay sane. It helps people be good citizens. The game of golf is really a great game, but unfortunately it's really not accessible for a lot of people, whether it's the time involved in a round or the startup costs to get the equipment. There's something about man versus himself. There's no LeBron-sized guy trying to swat the disc out of your hands. It's really you and the course, and it's purely creative. There's only so much you can do to shape a flight of a ball in regular golf, yet disc golf, it's infinitely more creative. Disc golf makes it extremely accessible to the masses.
Most people, they never heard of disc golf, but they've heard of a Frisbee, so I translated into Frisbee golf. So it was actually Frisbee golf before it was disc golf.
Now, I heard about this, and my first question is, why not call it Frisbee golf? Why can't you just say Frisbee golf?
You know, what happened was, and they used to call it Frisbee golf, but in 1983, they changed the disc to be more of a bevel-edged patent and of a champion.
Yes.
And they made it more of a less of a throwing game.
Yes.
And more of a disc golf game, like dynamic. So
yes.
It's like traditional ball golf.
Let's call it Frisbee golf from now on, shall we?
That's easy.
I have been playing for a couple of decades now, and at first, when I first started playing and really got into disc golf, almost nobody had heard of it. And it's tough for me too, working at Innova, where we definitely don't use the F word, Frisbee golf. But when you're talking to a little old lady that's never heard of it, it's kind of quicker to get it. Oh, okay, Frisbee golf.
Well, I try to explain to them it's like ball golf. You have tee pads, and then you have baskets instead of holes, and it's 18 holes, and there's par threes.
It all really started here at beautiful La Mirada course with our owner and president, Dave Dunapace. At this point, they were playing Frisbee golf, and it was with Frisbees.
Well, back then, actually, they didn't have beveled edge discs back then. For example, you'd be playing with like a midnight flyer, okay? They would inject glow material in here to make it heavier than this disc here.
And as the story goes, as I understand it, Dave just started tinkering, just started experimenting with ways to be able to make the Frisbees fly farther, fly faster, have a competitive advantage.
We actually had events that were held at the Rose Bowl.
Dave Dunapace is a 1981 distance champion, and Dunapace needs to go ahead and get a good throw to come on up. Okay, the crowd always looking for that long one out there. Even though this may be a demonstration, these competitors are going all out against one another. You can see that excellent extension in there by Dunapace.
This here is like one of the first beveled edge discs that was made in 1983, and that was made by Dave Dunapace. It's just like when you have your clubs for ball golf. Okay, you have your putters, you have your pitching wedges, you know, you have your irons, and you have your woods. So we'll have our putters, our mid-range disc, the fairway drivers, the drivers, and then the distance drivers.
You know, for me, and this is how it went for me, I was a Frisbee player. I took a job in a city, I didn't know anyone, and I drove there, moved in, and basically went to a big city festival with a disc. And I saw some guys playing catch, and I joined up with them playing catch, and they were like, hey, have you ever played Ultimate? And I was like, well, I've heard of it, I played a little bit, and hooked up with them, and met a bunch of friends, then got turned on to disc golf.
The park that my family would go to just to picnic in, to play in the great outdoors, happens to be where the first disc golf course was installed. Definitely was playing Frisbee already, just catch type things, and so had an older brother that could drive, so we got over to the course as often as we could, and became a cheap recreation.
And you know, immediately was hooked, played all the time, and then found out, hey, there's a tournament here, you know, in 2 weeks. So I was like, oh, I'll do it. So I played, and I think I came in second place in the first ever tournament I ever played in, and won $500. My parents started paying attention. Really, you won $500 playing Frisbee? And played a few more events that year, did well enough, and was awarded the Professional Disc Golf Association Rookie of the Year in 1988.
Most courses are free to play. Most courses are in a park setting. Most courses it's going to take maybe an hour and a half to play instead of, you know, a 4-hour ball golf round.
There's no green fees, no tee times. You can just come out and play whenever you have that time. And so I end up playing by myself a lot. That's a great, enjoyable time to kind of de-stress from the workday before I go home to the family.
I know for myself, playing it, seeing how much fun it is, seeing how good it is, you know, it's as competitive as you want it to be, or it's just family fun and friends and your kids, or whatever level of it you want. It's really a sport for everyone.
It's a sport on the rise here in mid-Missouri that has many ball golfers trading in their clubs for discs.
Disc golf, have you ever played?
The clank of the chains is the most exciting sound for someone playing disc golf. The object of the game is simple. Throw a plastic disc like this into a metal basket in as few throws as possible.
What's the deal with airplane peanuts?
Yeah, sure, come on.
Young and old, rich and poor, it hasn't been some elitist type of sport.
You can play it at whatever level you want to play it at. You can play it to the top levels of professionals if you have the skill set.
I think part of it is the people who play it love it so much. They want to expose it. They're so proud of it. There's been no one in charge of it growing it. It's been grassroots, town by town, course by course. More people come and get addicted.
The grassroots swell now is so big and so strong. You know, they think that there's about 10 million people that play disc golf regularly.
I mean, that's part of the fun of it, and that's part of the pride of everyone who plays disc golf, is educating everyone they run into. Have you heard about this sport, and it's so cool, and you know, look at these discs and what you do and all that.
There really is kind of an addictive element to it. A lot of the positives of people just really just wanting to get better. There's something kind of zen about just perfecting a craft.
If I have a particularly busy stretch of weeks where I just cannot get out and play, I start to go a little bit stir crazy, and I've got to get back out and throw.
I think just watching that perfect flight example was Monday. All right, I came up to a shot, you know, into a heavy wind. I was thinking of putting it, and I said, well, this is not a putt shot. So I took my mid-range, my gauge, and I threw it, you know, to lay it up, and it just went in the basket, you know. So stuff like that, it's like, oh, it's like, it was great, you know.
The finesse that's involved, and the thinking that's involved. What's my best route? How can I get out of this predicament? How can I make the best shot?
I honestly, when I first heard the term Frisbee golf, I was hooked. Just hearing those two words put together, Frisbee golf. Ding! I'm in, all in.
I started in 1982 as a professional. The 1983 Mazda US Open was here at La Mirada.
Let's try to get that out.
Jerry Garrett, Marcus Darren's book, La Mirada. Jerry's 22,
La Mirada.
Marcus, you're 21.
Third shot from 16A is from Marcus Cisneros. Come on, I love it.
That tournament was actually, you had to actually qualify. It was actually an overall event, not just disc golf. So they had distance, they had freestyle, they had MTA, which is maximum time aloft. Dave Dunapace, yeah, he was actually in the tournament, and he won that particular disc golf event.
La Mirada Disc Golf Course is one of the first in the sport, and it's been well established here in La Mirada over that period of time.
This course is very important. It's always been a championship level course. We used to have lots of people traveling from, you know, all over the United States to come to play the big tournaments here.
I remember the announcer on the videotape that it was on at the time, introducing it as La Mirada, where the grass is always green. And that's one thing that you see here at La Mirada Disc Golf Course that you don't see at most disc golf courses, is all the fairways are manicured grass.
Well, La Mirada was kind of like the base, okay? It's like it started here, probably the second disc golf course to have baskets in it.
Many of us would consider it the jewel of Southern California. I would. With the two courses here, with, you know, the lakeside, it wraps around the lake, these gorgeous trees, the variety of trees, the rolling green hills. I try to explain this to my mom. She doesn't always get it. She doesn't play disc golf. She doesn't always get it. But Mom, the beauty that I'm surrounded by every day, even if it's, you know, just a little park setting like this, but sometimes we're off in the forest or whatever, but La Mirada is just, it's gorgeous, you know?
Well, weekends I set up by, hole 14 over there by the gymnasium. I bring a table out for disc, I bring coolers out for drinks. I pop up a canopy, you know, to stay in the shade and just relax there and, you know, meet people, help them choose the right disc. I generally buy discs to sell to newer players. Who's going left now? There you go. Side of it. I tell them, it's like, you know, you come here, and when I give you a free lesson, okay, it's not just to help you, it's also to help me find the right disc to put in your hands. So the next time I see you, right, I say, hey, this is the disc that you need.
Still got some magic left.
Yeah, it does. These are awesome. So we'll play for these ones. These are the end of the year. So we'll play for this one at the end of the year. He's got another set of tags that will start off for another year. I actually shot my 11 under to hit to take number 1 for the year for last year.
See ya. Wow. I hope that blue one works. And that one's nice and safe. Or not? Yeah, let's do that. Oh, that's money.
It has always been kind of a little counterculture sport. It was considered a little bit hippie-ish, I think, at times, and you'd see the guys in the tie-dyed shirt. And
that's the sound I hear in my dreams, the sweet sound of chains.
Maybe there were people smoking weed and some of that stuff going on. And the reality is you're going to see that on a golf course too. It's not that different. They're just wearing polo shirts maybe instead of tie-dyes.
You still see guys carrying, ice chests with rollers that, they got a case of beer in there and they're having a great time, and it's just a place where that's where they go do their drinking. I've read stories online of, guys getting pulled over and asked where he's coming from. He's like, oh, I was just playing disc golf, and then all of a sudden the guy wants to search his car. It's definitely, with proper marketing, has moved away from that mindset largely, I would say.
Virtually all my friends are involved somehow in this game, and they go back a long time.
You start meeting people, you're playing with them, and when you play in tournaments, okay, you learn a lot about a person playing tournaments, and you play tournaments every week. You're seeing the same people week in, week out. It becomes like a family thing.
Like I traveled for business, and it was constantly had my suitcase, suits, and my disc golf bag. And so I'd get done with work and head to the closest disc golf course, and that's how I got to play so many courses.
Everybody's gathered around at the beginning of the tournament, right? Practicing putting and meeting old people.
And these tournaments, they're like family reunions. And it really feels like that. And the amount of hugs and love and high fives and, people that I've been seeing for most of my life now. And even if you don't see them every day, but it's that once a year that you see that person, kind of like seeing an old cousin or something.
I've played in tournaments where on my card there was a ER doctor, landscape maintenance guy for the city of Huntington Beach, just people from general walks of life that probably wouldn't be in conversation a whole lot if it wasn't for disc golf that they were playing, and disc golf is commonality.
There's an amazing sense of community, and you really can go anywhere in the world and you're welcomed. Come on in, bud. You're a disc golfer. Let's go play.
Hi, Pooch. You're awesome. You got shades on that dog?
Yeah.
Who's just rocking them up too? Like, I don't need them right now.
Nico?
I got a 4.
Yeah, Tommy. Hell yeah.
At Biola University, we're a liberal arts education, so that includes physical activity. All of our students have to have 4 units of PE credit.
So the approach is there, and you can see the lines are a lot further out.
Okay, and then we have 6 tries from there?
Yeah, you have 6 attempts from both places, and we'll throw out the low score.
Our student enrollment had increased to the point where we no longer could fit all of our PE classes onto campus facilities. So I offered to teach a disc golf class, and they said, that sounds great. And I would say the overwhelming majority of people have never played before, and hopefully we find a few out of those that desire to continue to play.
So today, I'm not going to take roll. The roll sheet will be the scorecard. You can play lakeside, backside, whichever you want. It's set up right now for the West Coast Championships. So if you still have outside class requirement times to get out and practice whatever, if you want to come out and watch for an hour, I think you can learn as much in that hour as you can going out and throwing for another hour. Today we're having the class score their rounds. We don't score every day. It's up to the students. If they want to keep score, they can. But again, I approach it from a recreational, not solely competitive approach to the game. So today they're keeping scores. We kept scores in a round earlier in the semester, and the purpose of keeping scores today is to compare their marks from their earlier rounds that they scored to today, and hopefully see that improvement that's taken place throughout the semester. What I enjoy about introducing people to the sport is that a lot of people early on in life did not have success on an athletic venue, and disc golf is something that has a pretty quick learning curve. You can never have played before and come out and start to play and dial in your throws pretty quickly.
Oh, so we have to get it here.
Yeah.
My example was as we did. Make sure you get this on the camera. Yeah.
Get your raffle tickets! All it takes is $1 to win a voodoo bag!
name's Jeff Sport. I run West Coast Disc Golf here in SoCal. We just ran a PDGA A-tier event here at La Mirada. Over the past few years, we just haven't had the big events to draw the top pros. It's something that we do to promote our course and promote disc golf in the area. It showcases the best players in the world. We had, I'd say, 300 spectators following the lead card. We had Paul Macbeth out, Dave Velberg, you know, a lot of our locals, Philo Brathwaite, Max Nichols. Paul came out with Nate Sexton, so we had a ton of top guys in town, and it was just a really special event. But it does showcase the next level of where disc golf can be and has been growing and headed towards. It kind of brings us all together and, you know, just working on the course, and, you know, we'll feel it here at the course for months, because right now it's as good as it's looked all year long. Seeing everybody's face after the weekend. I mean, all the thank yous that we get, and it's just amazing. You know, I don't even really know how to describe it. It's not about money at all. It's, you know, to showcase the game, have these players come and play, and it's just awesome.
Real quick, I just want to say shout out to West Coast Disc Golf. I mean, if you guys took a look at that gallery that we had out there, we had world champions, Dave Feldberg, Paul Macbeth, back at La Mirada.
A lot of you guys got to meet my grandma. She just turned 80 and spent her whole Mother's Day walking around this park.
How about having a second place finish to Macbeth? I mean, the best player in the world. The last 2 times I played, I lost to number 1 and number 2. So I must be doing something right.
Yeah. So many familiar faces, so many nice words. I had so many great memories here early in my career. This isn't my stage, it's Paul Macbeth, so I just want to say thanks to West Coast Disc Golf.
I can't wait to come back to SoCal and play, so bigger and better next year.
That's right.
That's
One of the things that really helped thrust golf into the mainstream was when they started getting involved with charities and realized they needed to give back.
Well, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is a facility in Memphis, Tennessee that treats children with childhood cancers and sickle cell anemia. They specialize in several things. All this is done without the family ever paying a bill. What's happening is the Professional Disc Golf Association is partnering with St. Jude. 2015 is the first annual St. Jude Disc Golf Charity Invitational. It's to launch this partnership between St. Jude and the Professional Disc Golf Association.
I'm playing in it. It's going to be should be a really special tournament, working to help the kids at St. Jude, which is a donation-funded hospital, which is pretty amazing. Nobody's turned away, and they have a lot of real special kids there that get real special care.
So our goal is moving forward that this will continue and grow, and we'll tap into the energy and the pride that disc golf has, and bring it together into this philanthropic effort to raise money to support the efforts of St. Jude.
Mind game.
This event is going to be amazing. They're raising money for St. Jude's. There's all sorts of things going on the PDGA website about what they're doing, who's raising money. Let's help make this pretty amazing for the sport of disc golf.
Yes, we are going to do this. This is for the kids. But watch what it does for us also. This is a way to pay back an appreciation, and it turns out it's really to an extraordinary cause.
Disc golf. The glass blown open. Billy Engel's first throw on the 380-foot par 3 is right on target. Whoa. That's an ace when it comes to disc golf.
Quick, there's one over there. Let's go down.
It's at an amazing point right now in its history. There's a great energy going on. We keep seeing all these videos. We just got on ESPN again just recently.
These kids are training. We have athletes involved in the sport now. You know, our world champ, he's starting to make money.
You know, when I first started out, it was like everybody had their own job and then they just played disc golf.
It's a full-time job. They are throwing thousands of discs a week. I think if you did a, 10 years ago, asked the population how many had heard of disc golf, it would have been 20, 30%. Now it's probably 60, 70%, and there's no reason why, it won't be the most participated in sport on earth in 10 or 20 years from now. What other sports are teaching etiquette and courtesy and honor and integrity?
We will have more disc golf courses in the ground than regular golf courses here in America within the next couple of years. That we're about to pass them. There's no stopping it now. It's gone too far. It's past that, hit that critical mass where there's too many people that just love it. One of the things that I find is really a blessing about being addicted to disc golf is all the ways that I want to make my life better so I can be a better disc golfer. Looking out, hey, when I'm 90, I want to still play disc golf. It has me eating right, trying to go to bed early and get rest and all these things that who knows what I'd be doing.
I just think there's an enormous upside to the sport, and I'm happy. It's thrilling to be a part of at this point in its history.
I think golf in general is magical, and I think that it emulates life, a round of golf. You can make it anything you want. You get to that first tee, and that round, your scorecard is a blank slate, and you get to fill that in just like we get to fill in our days and make it what we want. You might get a hole-in-one. You are going to be facing adversity at some point, and how you react to that. If you don't become a better person, you end up having to quit because you're going to kick your bag and you're going to make enemies of your friends. And I don't want to say, hey, disc golf's going to save the world, but disc golf's going to save the world.
It often takes these guys a little bit of time to get used to it. The mental pressure of throwing an ace. Nothing at all. It's in this situation that close is no better than way far away.
Shot there. It'll work. A little lower.
Way back at the beginning of the show, We saw the start of the Green Mountain Championship Final 9. We return now to Smuggler's Notch, Vermont for the concluding holes.
All right, moving on to hole 24. This is an open lane with a protected green. We have Will absolutely heat checking right now. He's birdied every hole so far. Let's see what he can do with his drive. That looks like a great line.
Yeah, soaring right in. Just really keeps it on fire.
That is not an easy gap to hit. It's well protected. It's over a knoll. You can't see it. Ricky and Will got out here and practiced a lot, as we see. Oh, Ricky just came up short, and that's the knoll. Simon totally avoids that by going super high. Simon, throughout the week, had a lot of shots like that where you just, where is he going? Very unique line, huge arm, creative player. Let's see where he ended up when we get down there. As we see Jason Dorr and Kyle throw some great shots. And Kyle's in birdie territory, about 28 feet. Let's see if he can sink it.
Awesome shot.
Great putt for Kyle. Kyle's really battling here. He made that long putt for par on the last hole. There's Will tapping in for birdie. I don't think we saw Ricky's birdie putt, but you see it sitting there. He's going to come in and clean up for par as all the other competitors gain 1 stroke on our leader actually here. And Will, with 3 to go, closes the gap to 4. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Getting exciting.
It's getting a little exciting. And here is the beautiful hole 25. It's an uphill grinder. It's about 400 feet with, again, a little protected green and all the right sides out of bounds, all the left sides wooded. The crowd started really getting into the match right here. They know Will has gone birdie, 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 and he's leading off here. And it spikes in, rolls out, and he's going to have about a 30-footer uphill, potentially obstructed, but the way he's playing, I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw that in the bucket. Oh, Simon goes a little too wide, and we see our course superintendent John Lang indicate he is out of bounds as Kyle Moriarty launches off the tee pad. And we don't see that finish, but that is in bounds. This is a difficult hole, Pat.
Yeah, it is. You know, it took me most of last season to find out the way I like to throw it.
Well, for most players, it is almost a 2-shot hole to get up there because it's a long uphill grinder with out of bounds. And not a challenge for Rick. Big hyzer. He patented that route last year and taught everybody how to play it. Here's Simon, after going out of bounds with a long approach. He nestled his up. And Jason Dorr, not a great angle for his putt. If you go left, you can see the treachery in the woods there.
Yeah, very treacherous.
And Will to continue his march.
Ooh, I don't know. I didn't see the chains move there.
It was just low. He hit and fell down. And, you know, with Ricky right next to the basket, anytime people get close, it seems like he just beats them back. He's now opened his lead up to 5 again and really put the nail in the coffin with this birdie. Will had a putt to continue his streak, but just didn't fall for him. And looks like with 2 holes to go, we can really kind of celebrate the fact that we've got a 2-time defending champ here, Ricky Wysocki, unless something crazy happens.
Yeah, he really just loves our courses and can make things happen out there.
And here's hole 26, and this is a big open bomber. You can cut the corner up to the basket, but there is OB all up the right side and around the green. This is really reminiscent of a USDGC hole, and that tournament actually takes place 2 weeks after the Green Mountain Championship, and this is usually the last big A-tier before that event. The last 2 winners of the USDGC have come out of this tournament, Will Schustrick most recently, and you can see Will heating up and you know, carrying some of this momentum from the final 9 potentially over to the championship at Winthrop. That being said, this is just where it opens up, and you can see the beauty of the surrounding area.
Yeah, you know, Brewster Ridge in the background looking beautiful in foliage.
Yep, the course's namesake is the ridge right behind what you're seeing on the screen here. So we see Kyle throw up a great shot. Kyle and Jay not quite as aggressive as those bigger arms. We saw Simon right here, boom, going right at the basket. This is what you can do if you've got a huge arm. If that hooks up, that could be right next to it. The crowd, oh, and it looks like it just landed out. If he crossed up there, he will still have a birdie putt. Here's Jason Dorr with his approach, playing it nice and conservative. If he lands it, yep, inbounds, he should have a nice look at birdie. And Kyle, oh, he's very accurate with that forehand approach. Same with Rick. He's just got a little pitch because he did cut the corner. And there's Will.
Yeah, let's see where Simon ended up. Oh, he gets that putt.
And there's his birdie. If he had stayed in bounds and, he was only about 10 feet out, it would have been the first eagle on this hole. I know Nico LaCastro played here last year, tried it, and didn't quite get it either. And that's a great birdie for Jason.
Yep. To finish strong.
Yeah, he battled so hard all week. I would not be surprised to see him break through here next year. He plays the course so well, and just, has a great mental game for it. And there we go. Will gets back on track after his one par so far. He's had 7 under. And if he can birdie this last hole, he will go to 8 under and set a record on the back 9. This is 400 feet. It's around a corner. It's a blind shot, and it's a tricky angle.
Yeah, it is. It's similar to some of that double fall line terrain we got for skiing here at Smuggler.
We love our skiing and snowboarding. It's what we're doing now. We can't see that finish for Jason Dorr, but everything around here is mountainous. We look forward to expanding our disc golf operation and offering in the near future. Look out for some news as we see Simon throw a big bomb up there. And now we're around the corner and we can see the basket. It's OB all around it. It's a slippery green. Here's Jason Dorr for his birdie. Let's see if he can put a long one in. Oh, just hangs it out to the right, but it stays in bounds. And here's Ricky. And he puts it in for the win. That's the clinching putt. And you're looking at our 2-time defending champion as Will sets the course record for the Fox Run Meadows 9-hole course. Here's Simon looking to finish strong. He was probably the biggest crowd pleaser throughout this final 9, Pat.
Yeah, really got the crowd into it. They didn't know what to expect next from him. And, if I remember correctly, after the final 9 wraps up, he did a little power show of driving some discs down that.
The hole 20, yeah. And he hit the post earlier as we see Kyle and Jason finish up, and the competitors congratulate Ricky. He went back up to the tee, and he put some down around the basket. We all know that Simon's got one of, if not the biggest arm in the game. He can really, really air it out and put on a really great show. We want to thank our viewers for watching the compilation of videos we put together. I have to thank our producer, Alex Martin, for his great camera work, Bruce Morrissey for his B camera work, Pat Abbott for joining me here in the studio.
Of course, whipping. You still think you got a few more things to learn from it? And from you?
Always can learn something. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great tournament. Bigger and better this year. Jeff did a great job making an A tier, and well deserved. So
nice.
Only bigger and better things come in the future. I'm just glad to be a part of Jeff's thing here at Brewster Ridge.
And we're looking to do it bigger and better next year. We'd like to announce that the registration will be open for the 2015 Green Mountain Championship on April 15th.
The two businesses that really let us be able to do this great event provided the support to get the the cash here for the big pros. I gotta thank Prodigy Disc and Fiddlehead Brewing Company, and give it up for those 2 title sponsors. You guys just watched these guys play the final 9. Pretty awesome show, so give it up for these top 5 who made it. In 5th place, winning $755, Kyle Moriarty. In 4th place, second time here, second time in the final 9, from Maine, winning $930, Jason Dorr. In third place, winning $1,105. Give it up for Simon Lazat. Another first-timer to this course, coming out of Tennessee, two-time U.S. champ. Glad to have him here, winning $1,510. Give it up for Will Schustrick.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
He is now our two-time defending champion, winning $2,255. I got to give a big thanks for all of his support for the event and getting more players here. Give it up for Ricky Wysocki.
Thanks, buddy.
We've got to wrap this episode up now. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back in a couple months with more action from around the disc golfing community. Thanks to the crew at Smuggler's Notch and Matthew Robertson over at Disc Golf Matters for their help with the show, and to the PDGA for their support. Until next time, drive carefully.